Well, you seen from the intro, it's the vwnut 1967 channel on YouTube. That's my 64 bug Daisy at the very beginning of her life with me. Sorry for the horrible camera and work. This was the beginning of my experience with YouTube, so some of this early footage is going to be bad, so I apologize for that. But it does tell the story of my 64 bug Daisy. She's pretty faded right here. Uh, this is the first day really in the garage. The camera doesn't really do it justice. Here we are outside. You can see next to the shiny red bug. It looks much better. I just walk around it here and feel some of the paint and just kind of a comparison about kind of where I started with this car. I knew when I bought it that it would need essentially the bottom 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of the car. Um, but that's what I was in for. So that's where we started with this one. Of course, my 67. This is the first time really that I had the car like inside and was looking at everything and kind of going over things and talking about, you know, the animals that lived inside. And we get a good look at the headliner, and you can see under the back seat there, you could see the remnants of the animals that had lived inside. Like I said, once we got further along and got this car going, it had sat for at least 12 years, maybe a little bit longer than that since it had been on the road. But this was kind of day one of really getting into the preservation of this car. A little better look at the carpet here and what was under it. Just kind of the rear carpet. The animals make such a mess of things. At one point, this car had given birth to a family of red squirrels, I believe. There's quite a bit of animal debris and remnants from them living in here when I got the car. So that's probably the worst part of the car right there, was ripping down the headliner. There had been animals living in the headliner, and you can see there's a part of the nest right there, and it went from bad to worse real quick with the headliner. So then we just started taking a overall look at some of the electrical systems and what we had to start with. You know, lights, turn signals, those things, brake lights. Like, what did we have to start and what worked and didn't work? And so this is kind of going through those things. So right here we kind of have her out for like our first little drive around the neighborhood. I can't imagine we really went too far. Then you can see right here as I start to back it in, we had turned down the rear spring plates and torsion tubes in the rear. Start to take apart the front headlights assemblies and get them preserved and cleaned up and put pieces back in them and those things. Alright, so we got the lights all cleaned up and put back together and put in the car, and reach right in here and pull the light switch, and you can see that everybody's shining bright, working good up front there. And then we'll cut to a clip of me backing the car in one more time with the low and slow, the back end dumped in the weeds and the front end still stock height. This is probably one of my favorite memories with this car, and favorite clips that I found. It's wet sanding the car in the rain. You can see me here. I'm wet sanding. The videos of wet sanding and how I did it to the paint on this car are pretty extensive. There's quite a few of them. But wet sanding in the rain, most definitely one of my favorite memories about this car. So I get the car inside, and this is the first look I get at kind of what I feel is the kind of the cool story of this car, like how the aged paint and the layers of paint and primer and age and wear are able to show through and shine on this car. And this is how we get our first look at it. And here I am buffing the shine out of it, and I noticed in some of these clips that I need to buff this car now. It's even shinier now. It's even shinier in these clips than it is right now. And we just continue wet sanding for a while. I think there's a couple more shots of just the wet sanding and the results as they come out on this car. A lot of 50-50 shots, half done, half not done. You'll see.
He sat indoors through 2 world wars. They're probably gonna do it again.
Alright, so right here we get our first look at the front tires, the low profile tires. They're either a 45 series or a 50 series tires, and the comparison to the stock tire. Oh, and of course a little bit of patina. She's been in every clip since I started this process. This is just her playing dead when she feels like it. So you shoot her, she plays dead, then she's up, wants treats, and out we go to the garage.
With politics and sneaky tricks, the shit will never end. They say they put a man up on the moon, they can even make a sonic boom. But when it comes to making friends, they just can't seem to make amends. They don't just sacrifice, they give it all away. We're just the pieces of it.
Alright, so right here in the boxes are floor pans and heater channels for the 64 bug. Just a little quick view of them coming in.
Foolish game they play. Just take your time and think of all the lives they've lost.
As we went along, I took the trim or the, like in this case, the door handles off as we went, as I wet sanded so that that stuff wouldn't be in the way.
Do you really think they cared about the cost? So what's the point in fighting their fire just for their own desire? The whole world should unite as one and stop this shit and have some fun. The planet's here for us to share and not for countries to declare. With politics and sneaky tricks, the shit will never end. They don't just sacrifice, they give it all away. And we're just the pieces of this foolish game they play. Just take your time and think of...
This little piece right here on the rear fender is one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts of the car. That little piece where they had repaired it with filler and stuff whenever it was repaired. I do take a couple of trips outside with the car and walk around it outside. You get to see a couple of the real cool pieces of what I call patina on this car. Shows the history. There's that fender after I got done wet sanding, and I really like the way that came out on this car. The whole car shined up and wet sanded. I really liked the way it came out, and that I was able to preserve the finish of the car and tell the story of the car the way it is now. I was just checking out that guy's haircut.
All the lives they've lost. Do you really think they cared about the cost? They sat indoors through 2 world wars. You know they're gonna do it again. With politics and sneaky tricks, the shit will never end.
Alright, so I'm working on the rear fender and the apron right here. Also, once again, checking out that guy's haircut. Well, welcome to the vwnut channel. We're out cruising around in Daisy. I'm about to head home and I think yank the motor out of her. But let's take a little ride. She's running really good. Yep, took the motor right out of her, set her right down on the floor, got her right up on the engine stand, ripped her right down to just cylinder heads and pistons, and we get her all cleaned up, and you'll see.
As you're waiting for the story to end, think about all the things that you...
This was probably one of the strangest things in this car, was this piece of stainless steel. I know that a lot of times they use dress-up metal and stuff for them in the 80s and 90s. Maybe that's what it was for, I'm not sure. But we got her out of there and got the engine compartment all cleaned up. Can never have enough patina footage in any Volkswagen Nut video. She's a big part of everything I do every day. Not necessarily just in the garage, but in life, period. You can see we got some engine pieces getting ready to go back together. The engine's been all cleaned up, and get her back together. And my puppy dog.
Depend upon your shoulders standing high, looking round the world from in the sky. So take it easy, cause you might fall. You got a million different people writing on your wall. I got a number, write it down. You better check your distance from the ground. So if you're ever gonna watch me fall, I think now's the time. If you're ever gonna help me fall, I think now's the time. And if you're ever gonna catch me fall, I think now's the time. You put the sunshine on my face, with you there's never a smile out of place. You put the beats into my heart.
Alright, you can see right here that I have the fan shroud on and then the fan shroud off. It's because I forgot to put the intake on first and then put the fan shroud on. So, you know, sometimes you do it twice, but it's alright.
Loved you from the start. You want a better life, well so do I. You think I wanna live this way until the day I die. Just take it easy, understand. Nothing in my life was ever planned.
Here you see me using the old rear front main seal, depending on who you are and where you're from, to tap in the new front or rear main seal. Cranking down on the flywheel, of course. Alright, there's the engine all put together. We set it on the bench for a while. We got to work on this part of the car. More patina helping me out. There's a good look at the rust that we had to deal with on the floors.
So if you're ever gonna watch me fall, I think now's the time. And if you're ever gonna help me fall, I think now's the time. And if you're ever gonna catch me fall, I think now's the time.
You will see these piles a couple of times in this video. That's just the daily metal pile. Here you see me taking the gas tank out. That's just because I was worried about sparks and gas and things like that.
So as you're waiting for the story to end, think about all the things that you depend upon. Your shoulders standing high, looking around the world from in the sky. I'm just looking for a place to land, so won't you tell me how you feel about my one-man band? Go spend your days up on the fence till everything I do starts making sense. So if you're ever gonna watch me fall, I think now's the time. And if you're ever gonna help me fall, I think now's the time. And if you're ever gonna catch me fall, I think now's the time.
You see we cleaned up the engine compartment, so it's time to hang the deck lid back on.
So now's the time. So now's the time. So now's the time.
So to help line everything up, I fitted the pan and the heater channel together in the car before we even started to weld anything together. So I just am bolting the pan and the heater channel together with a little piece of gasket in between each nut and bolt and the pan and the heater channel. Here's the shop apprentice on the gas tank reinstallation.
So now's the time. Faces come and faces go. There's people here you never know. All I wanna do today is sit a while and play. Understand we're not the same, but deep inside.
We had just finished lowering the front end. I can tell that by the tuck of that front tire. So I must be just tightening up the lug nuts here on the car.
The truth remains, all I wanna be is me. Sit and let your mind be free.
Couple of things we get to look at right here: the stance of Miss Daisy and the rust that we had started with on the driver's side lower right there.
I'm sorry that your life is tough.
The shop apprentice actually put the engine in this car. He did a great job. That's what we're showing right here. Alright, so we're getting started with the rear bumper on Daisy here. I was trying to tuck the rear bumper as close to the car as I could, so that's what we went for. Anytime I have the opportunity to use this saw, and share it with you guys. I try to. We're just shortening up the bumper brackets right here.
It looks as though you've had enough. Wish the world would let you be. Sit and talk a while with me. Try my best to lend a hand, guide you through this bumpy land. Can you see the things I do are all because of you?
The front bumper, we wanted to do something completely different. So, you know exactly what I did here. See, we're measuring for the metal behind what I did. And if you don't know what I did here, you will see soon enough what happened.
Don't close your eyes too tight. It's gonna be alright. I'll wipe away your tears, help you conquer all your fears.
Alright, so a quick little ride with the view of the ground from inside the bug with no floor in it.
Darkness comes alive. Let me hold you close and tight. I wish away the pain, but the truth will still remain.
The front latch, handle, and hood trim all on with the front bumpers. We get started on the seat and seat frames. You know that this is still my driver's seat, just the springs, just like that.
Have my share of ups and downs.
This part of the project with the car is where I learned the most, being taught how to do metal fabrication and sheet metal welding from my friend Musty One.
I've met the jokers and the clowns, made my way to hell and back. I'm not a stranger you attack. What don't kill you makes you strong, so find a place where you belong. It's time to settle in your soul before we all grow old. Deep within the truth remains. I'm sick of people playing games. Just be true and say it straight, and scrape the bullshit from your plate. Stop wasting time, cause that's a sin. If you don't know where to begin, I'm always here to lend a hand, help you try to understand. Don't close your eyes too tight. It's gonna be alright. I'll wipe away your tears, help you conquer all your...
Paper dolls for making templates.
From the darkness comes a light. Let me hold you close and tight. I wish away the pain, but the truth will still remain. 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 Faces come and faces go. There's people here you'll never know. All I wanna do today is sit a while and play.
At this point, the passenger side floor was all welded in, and the sheet metal work on the passenger side was done. So I brought it home so that I could cut the driver's side sheet metal out of it, the rusty sheet metal, and we start bracing up the interior for that to happen right here.
not photogenic, psychedelic. Just trying to make a living, but I just can't sell it. The money I paid for the games I played, shouldn't give in until my dreams are made. But you know how I felt as I started to melt. So I'm gonna do the best with the hand I'm dealt. Won't waste it all away, save a little for another day. There's too much to lose, that's why we're singing the blues. Can you feel the cold of the heavy load inside my shoes? Don't be mad, think about the good and the bad. Can you feel the pain of the heavy rain inside my brain? Like the sun in the sky when you're wondering why. Like a stone in your shoe when you don't.
Custom suede running boards. Beautiful. One other favorite part of this car. They are so nice. Alright, so we're back over for lesson number 2, driver side welding at Musty Ones. Swear it, I've really learned a ton about putting a car together here.
Like a mountain to climb when you can't find the time. But we were born to get by without wondering why. Photogenic, you're psychedelic, and you're trying to make a living, but you just can't sell it. The money you paid and the games that you played, you shouldn't give in until your dreams are made. Well, you know how I felt as I started to melt, so I'm gonna do the best with the hand I'm dealt, and I won't waste it all.
Alright, got her back home. Time for a good seam sealer and paint for the underneath of the car and the inside floor of the car.
I'll save a little for a rainy day, 'cause there's too much to lose, that's why you're singing the blues. Well, I can feel the cold of the heavy load inside your shoes. Don't be mad, just think about the good and the bad. Can you feel the pain of the heavy rain inside my brain? Like a sun.
So I did use some body filler in this car over where I welded. I'm not a perfect sheet metal guy, so we had to fill it in. So plenty of filling, sanding, filling, sanding, filling, sanding, filling, sanding.
The sky when you're wondering why. Like a stone in your shoe when you don't know what to do. Like a mountain to climb when you can't find the time. We were born to get by without wondering why.
So I added the plates to the car to break up the line between where the car was perfectly repaired and where the car had some of its aged character lines. I thought it was a nice touch, and I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Not photogenic, psychedelic, just trying to make a living, but I just can't sell it. The money I paid and the games that I played, I shouldn't give in until my dreams are made. But I know how you felt as you started to melt, so you got.
So the blue stuff is sound management material, and then we went ahead and covered all that with a fresh carpet kit, and that's what you're seeing right now is me putting the glue on to get ready to stick down the carpet.
Do the best with the hand you dealt, don't waste it all away, save a little for another day.
There was a windshield fatality uh, in the process of building this car. Special thanks to my friend Jason for coming through clutch on the windshields for me. That's him in the passenger seat here. We're actually cruising the car without a windshield in it. Um, got her all taken care of though. Alright, as you see her right now is how she sits even to this day. We've just been out cruising her around. We've done some tune-up things, some oil change things, some carburetor build things. I'm very happy with the way the car drives and runs down the road, and there's still a couple more things to do with her, and we will most definitely keep you guys updated. But for the most part, that basically put this car back on the road after her 12-year hibernation. I'd like to thank you guys for not only coming along with me while I built this car the entire time, if you've been here that long, for sitting through this video if you've been here that long, and without you guys watching and being my motivation, probably the car would not be done as quickly as it was. So thanks to all of you guys for being here and watching, and the comments and the thumbs up and the constructive criticism, and I appreciate it all. And we will see you guys in a couple of days.